The Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Super Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm. We did a little small talk about the VGAs. That video should be up by the time this podcast is out. We talked a good amount about the VGAs. We talked about the game of the year. We talked about the fighting game panel now. I feel like we should sum it up a little bit. One Punch Man is being nominated for fighting game of the year, along with Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Street Fighter 5 Championship Edition, Grand Blue Fantasy versus, and God, what was the other game? I do not have that list up. I apologize.
Yeah, no, so I'm trying to think of the other game myself.
Yeah, I know we didn't vote for it. That's I know for a fact we didn't vote for it. That's all I know. But Under Night in Birth.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I didn't remember. But it sparked up a conversation because, well, for one, why is One Punch Man being nominated when, there's other great games such as My Hero 1 Justice 2 that's out that I feel like deserves the attention and the nomination. Because
it gets no love.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And now, because Spike Chunsoft, the developers of One Punch Man and Jump Force, arguably some of the worst anime games people has ever played, is getting like Game of the Year nominations. And it's like when people see it, it's like if the outside, the casual gamer sees it, it's like, oh, this company was nominated for Fighting Game of the Year twice, so this has to be good. Their sales starts going up, Bandai Namco starts trusting them more, and then they start just making crappy games even more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what we want. We do not. We want high quality games like the Dragon Ball Fighters. Say what you want about Storm 4. It's a quality game.
No. I do not by no means hate on Storm 4. I just say
that wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. A lot of people do hate on Storm 4, but it's like that is still a quality game. Because of the very simple fighting style of it.
Shit ain't simple at all.
Circle, up, circle is a combo.
You're right, okay.
But yeah, like, people give Arena Fighters a lot of credit. But like we said, Storm was made with a lot of care and a lot of love. And you could tell CyberConnect 2 did love this game. Now, with that being said, Bandai Namco is having, like, they have a little bit of competition with Antiplex, and they're making a Demon Slayer game. We're not sure if it's a fighting game, RPG game. Most likely it is a fighter game because CyberConnect 2 did have an interview where someone asked, if you had to make an anime game with the Storm engine, what would it be? And they said, oh, we can't announce that yet. And then a few months later, Demon Slayer is announced. So people are suspecting it's going to be a fighting game. And this is the competition that Bandai Namco needs. Because like you said, with 2K, the quality gets bad if there's no competition.
There really isn't.
The quality gets very bad if there's no competition. Now, I give it to Bandai Namco. They made Dragon Ball Fighters. They produced Dragon Ball Fighters. Arc Systems developed it.
Yeah.
But, that was a footstep in the right direction. That was a very quality game made by people who love that series. And it shines all over.
I have a question. Since you love anime a lot, why do you think that a lot of the anime games that I'm talking about, the straight anime game, I'm not talking about the ones that become Americanized like Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon. I'm talking about why do you think that they don't, when it comes to the fighting game, and they don't succeed as much in the FGC as you would like them to?
Such as what game?
Like, okay, for instance, like Storm 4 is a decent game. I'm just not good at it.
Right.
But I mean, the FGC loves that game. They love Dragon Ball Fighters, but even I still consider that more of a
That's more of a traditional fighting game. Where Storm is like it's more gimmicky than.
But I'm talking about when it comes to the My Hero, when it comes to the One Punch Man, when it comes to Bleach, or when it comes to what was it Luffy
One
in
Piece. Yeah.
One Piece? Yeah, they had a fighting game. Like, why don't those games get the kind of mainstream success that people feel as though that they deserve in the fighting
Um.
game community?
Usually, it's because we're so used to anime games being like a money or cash grab. We're so used to that. Like it's
Okay.
clear. 99% of it. That's why a lot of anime games are made yearly. Like Dragon Ball games,
Yeah.
Bandai Namco has a yearly contract to make Dragon Ball games every year. If you're making a game every year, of course your budget is going to be like wearing thin. So you're going to have times where it's like this game is going to be crap. And we get that more than often. So what they're trying to do is just sell it on the name alone. Now, when you see a game, when you see a preview of a game, and it looks bad right off the gate, you're not going to get it. That's what a lot of people wrote off My Hero One's Justice on. Now, when the game came out, the game wasn't as bad. It definitely needed polish. Then the studio stopped. They stopped updating the game. And then they moved on to My Hero One's Justice 2, where this is definitely a better polished game. I'm not going to say a much better polished game, but it's a better polished game, and it's a lot more. It's honestly the most competitive arena fighter that I ever played. Every single character plays extremely different.
That's what I'm saying. But now you see how you're invested in that.
Right.
How do I get, like you said? There's a lot of people that's in the community, or it's not in the community, don't even know about the game.
Right.
And it's like when I play a lot of arena fighters, some arena fighters are cool, and a lot let me down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't into Xenoverse like I thought I was.
Mm-hmm. And that's what
And
I wasn't either. It wasn't what I was expecting, because I was expecting Tenkaichi.
Exactly. It wasn't that. Mm-hmm. I tried I actually have the One Punch Man, the first one. I never played the second one. But when you showed me the second one, it almost looks like a reskin.
Right.
And I'm like, well, if that's the case, you should have just focused more on, just polishing the first game to make it the best game that it possibly can be.
Right.
Now, that that's what I'm talking about, to the point like when I go see people talk about Jump Force, and Jump Force not that great. And like I said, arena fighters to me is like, if they ain't no lock, they can be kind of boring to me.
Right. Arena fighters get the short end of the stick a lot.
They do, and I never thought that I would enjoy a melee style fighting game like Smash Brothers over arena fighter games, because I think they're the ones that take the Mount Rushmore style of fighting games.
Right.
And it's very unfortunate, but I just always wanted to know, as an anime fan, why is it that way when it comes to these communities? Because the last, like I said, it seems like popularity alone, like Jump Force getting nominated, I'm like, to me, like, of what I heard, that's a joke.
Right. We all made a joke about it. I'm waiting for Mike to keep to make a video about this One Punch Man. I can't wait about this video game nomination, because oh my god.
Do you think that this is because anime is too OP?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think anime is very overpowered, which is kind of why I like the My Hero game, because, well, to me, I'm a pretty big My Hero fan, and with My Hero, it's like anyone can beat anyone if you really could like figure it out. It's almost like a puzzle game. It's like if you use like certain quirks, could be like, okay, I can stop that person this way, or I can stop this person this way. And it's like even with the smallest gimmicks, you could like perfect it in a way. Like one character, his powers is permission, so he could just he could go through things. However, if he could phase through things. However, if he phases his whole body, he can't see, he can't hear, he can't breathe. Like breath, like air will go through his lungs, all that. So he's literally like falling in the void.
If he goes through his whole body,
right? Yeah, like if he uses his quirk, it will, like, since he could phase through things, he also phases through like, air he can't see because he's phasing through like sight,
Wow.
and he can't hear all that. He has to hold his breath when he does it. So it's like things like that. It's like it may seem broken, but it's like you have to learn how to use it in order for it to be successful.
Okay.
Where that series add a lot of logic to certain things. Even though it's an anime, it does add like a good amount of logic to what. Okay, I see how that works. And some like some quirks are like, this is an extension of your muscle. You cannot overdo it, or you will get like your body will take a serious effect to it.
Gotcha.
That's where it's like, okay, this makes sense. But like One Punch Man, first of all, One Punch Man should have never been a fighting game to begin with because of the main character.
If it is, it's going to be like I that's what I'm talking about. OP, like obviously with the character Saitama, you can't play as him as in a fighting game,
right?
Which is almost not fair, especially when he's the lead character in it. But you can also that same case for Injustice and Superman,
right?
But at the end of the day, it is a fighting game. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you probably want to have people to pick Saitama opposed to it being almost like a cheat sheet to help you get out of trouble.
And that's why they had to make him a gimmick, which was like, it's kind of dumb. It's like I don't think that game just the idea of that game. I just don't think it worked. I just don't think it worked. So
I was willing to give it a chance. I
saw the trailer. I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I was like, yeah, I don't see myself playing it. I do not see myself playing it. And it's also because as an anime fan, I'm tired of just bad games. I'm just tired of wasting my money. Like I work hard for my money. I'm tired of wasting it now, especially with games coming up to $60. I mean, I'm sorry, $70 instead of $60. I do not want to waste my game. I don't want to waste my money on a bad game.
Because unfortunately, a lot of people have been saying, like, I haven't played the game, so I don't know. So they're saying this is one of the worst arena fighting games they have ever played.
From what I've seen, they're just like one person is like, yo, I played 30 minutes of this and I'm bored. They said the only good thing about this game is the character creation.
Oh, wow.
One guy said this has to be a meme. The fact that it got nominated. So I'm just more upset that this gives more attention to that studio where Bandai Namco is going to be like, oh, okay, we'll feed you more money to make more of these.
It got a 6 on IGN for being okay.
Yeah. Well, again, IGN is really weird. I would check Metacritic, if anything. Metacritic, it combines, it's like Rotten Tomatoes. It has the average scores of all the reviewers plus the user score. I think the user score was like a 3.8 on that game. And that's really bad. That's insanely bad. But yeah, so we talked about that. Also with fighting games being re-released, like, do you think that counts as like being slightly updated and re-released? Do you think that counts as a game coming out this year? We also talked a little bit about that. Now, I don't know if you had anything more to say about that, because I'm still thinking it's like, if that was the case, I feel like season updates should be counted as a new version of the game.
I guess it all depends to the committee on how they view it.
Right.
Because it's Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter have been known for doing this for years. Tekken doesn't do this often.
Right.
And like I said, it's different when you have a season pass, but when they re-release a game, it's like they almost release a whole new game. Like for instance, if people don't have PS5, right, or they go out and get PS5, Mortal Kombat Ultimate is for the PS5.
Right.
You don't get Mortal Kombat Ultimate for the PS4. So technically, it's another game. Same thing when you get Street Fighter Championship Edition. You don't get the arcade edition anymore. Like Street Fighter, they've been the kings of that for years.
Oh yeah.
So
how many versions of Street Fighter 3 came out?
I'm about to say, bro, we only on Street Fighter 5, and it's been around for 30 years. They've been doing this shit forever.
Right.
So it is like if it's a brand new game with brand new updates, brand new DLC, brand new anything like that, and they re-release the game like that, then I think that's what it makes it count. I don't think when it comes to season updates, Bandai Namco has not changed the interface of Dragon Ball Fighters that much. They have not added no stages. They have not added no more music. They changed the gameplay around. They added new characters to there, which they're very slow about doing, and which I understand because we're in a pandemic. But you're giving something updates, but they didn't re-release it as a addition.
Right. And I feel
I
like
think
if it
if they
has,
did that,
yeah, then it will be nominated.
if they did do that, it would be nominated.
Okay.
But I think, like if they release all season 3 and they'd be like, all right, this is going to be, Dragon Ball Fighters, something Dragon Ball related edition.
Right.
And they'd be like, we're adding this, and also we're adding this stuff that you usually can't probably get unless you get this kind of system. Then it is another re-release of a necessary game. So that's why, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter can be put up in that category.
Okay. Gotcha. Because I'm really, it's weird. Like, it's weird. I'm like, I don't know if this should be added. And I felt the same way with Among Us. I mean, that game came out 2 years ago and it's being nominated for a lot. I understand the popularity, took off this year. But it's like, come on, you stick with this year at least.
Well, it's like this: if Nintendo Switch comes up with a Nintendo Switch Pro version, right? And they re-release Smash Brothers, and they call Smash Brothers Super Ultimate, whatever the case may be. I know it's corny, but I'm just saying another name. That will be counted as another re-release fighting game,
right?
And whatever they add to there, and then that will have a chance to be nominated. So it's the way they re-release it. So there is a slight difference of the re-releasing and the stuff that you add, opposed to just a regular update.
Right. Now, if it's Ultimate Edition, like how Batman Arkham was, this is the Ultimate Edition or the Definitive Edition. I don't think that counts whatsoever.
No, I mean it's like well, you got this edition, you got Game of the Year edition,
right? I don't think that should count at all. Which I see they don't do that, but it's a weird case. It's a weird case for fighting games because that's the only category where I see it happening.
Yeah, because it's like fighting games can change drastically from first release to a year.
Yeah, with the balance patches and the updates and the characters and all that.
Look at Battle for the Grid, bro.
Yeah. Example. Also, please give Battle of the Grid some love. Please get. I don't know if I highly doubt anybody from the Video Game Awards panels listen to us, but please consider that game in some shape or form because that needs the love. That really needs the love.
It's getting the love from the community and the other things that people don't usually give it love for. Obviously, here's the thing about Battle for the Grid. And once again, you know how much I love Battle for the Grid. It's my second favorite fighting game of the 2010s, and it's in my top 5 of all time.
Right.
Top 5.
But
the game is busted.
That's really good.
But the game is busted. That turns off a lot of professional players.
Right.
Marvel's busted, but it ain't as busted as Power Rangers is. And the reason why I say that is because, right now, I would never play Power Rangers competitively. Ever. Because do I find myself good at the game? I feel as though, if I was to play a competitive player in 10 matches, I can win 2. To be honest with you.
Right.
I believe if I was to play a competitive player in Power Rangers, out of 10 matches, I think I would be able to win 2 of them. Just 2. Because the game is very busted. And busted games turn off people. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
If you look at the most recent Battle for the Grid tournament, it's almost a game of you have to let your opponent fuck up or drop the combo because you can combo them to death. and you can literally combo their whole life bar away.
It's almost like
And
Tekken.
say what?
Almost like Tekken.
Yes, and the thing is, it's not even that you're spamming a move. It's just that you're just comboing them to death, and there is no escape.
Right.
Like they had a juggle limit, and for some reason that don't seem to be working. Like there may be a time when like they light up orange and they kind of flip out, but they flip right back into the combo.
Right.
In Mortal Kombat, they have breakers. Or if you play Mortal Kombat 11, they have like the roll throughs or how they would like spin out the air so you can't combo them to death.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter has the same thing. They have breakers. If you block too much, or they have something that can counter being comboed to death. The problem with Power Rangers is they don't have nothing. There's nothing to protect you from being comboed to death.
Right.
Like there's a lot of things in Power Rangers that needs to be addressed by like FGC regulations.
Right.
That it's not there yet, unfortunately. Now
Okay.
it's kind of like, do you enjoy my ribs?
Yeah.
Like, how much do you enjoy my ribs?
A lot. Like anytime you say you're making them, I'm over there. I'll cancel what I'm doing.
Okay. Do you know I would fail a barbecue competition?
No.
Because I don't have the cut right. I don't have the smoke ring right. I don't have, I have the flavor. My presentation may be off. Like there's a lot of things that goes to when you do like a pro competition that they look for that it's like, well, I think the game is great, but it's like, yeah, it's great, but these are the things it's failing in.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Power is just doing a thing. It's like, well, we're here for the community. That's why a lot of Marvel games, like everybody talk about how great Marvel's Capcom 2 is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel's Capcom 2 is so damn assist heavy. Like people ignore it because of how nostalgic it is and how great the game is.
Right.
But to the point, I'm like, that game was kind of busted in itself. But that's how Marvel is.
Right.
It's like, do you accept it or not? But there's certain ways to get out of there, but there's certain ways not, because in Marvel vs. Capcom, you can get comboed to death too.
Mm-hmm.
And certain games are, so that's why a lot of team games are kind of busted like that.
Right.
To the point where it's just like, it's so hard to get out of them, and it's like, what do? Do you try to impress the fans or the FGC?
Right.
Excuse me. Well, the FGC is the fan. Do you try to press, the core fan base of this game, or do you try to impress the suits, basically?
Right. Gotcha.
And that's what right now what Power Rangers is doing is like it's building. Like they finally got their physical collector's edition release this year, which surprises me that I felt as though that is a re-release.
Right.
And this is the first time they're coming out physical. That should have been qualified to be nominated, but it wasn't. So I don't understand that in the least sense. But once again, from the things I've seen in the community, a lot of people love the game due to its content, due to its game. It's easy to pick up.
Right. It is.
It's not that expensive. And it's like, okay, if you get the Switch, you're going to get what you're going to get. But if you get on PS4, it looks good. It's a Power Rangers game. It's a more Saturday, kid show kind of thing. That's what it's going to be. I mean, obviously, could it look hell a lot better? Yeah, obviously, but that's what the way Power Rangers is going to be.
It works for the art style works for what it is.
The art style works for what it is. However, there are people who come into the game that I have seen in the community that are pro people. They come in there like, yo, this game is busted.
Right.
And I'm like, damn it, I get what you're saying, but I still love the game. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like the way me and you play, or the way me and you and Quattro play, or even Q-Flow sometimes when he's out in his feelings. I'm saying those be fun matches because none of us are pro players.
Yeah.
But
Quattro and this Ice Ranger.
Yeah.
I'd be ready to fight him. I'm ready to fight him in real life.
It do get out there because he is a little bit of a spammer. But what I'm saying is, we're not pro players, and we can have fun trying to play the game. But if you watch like the most recent tournament, I'm just like, my God, homeboy got comboed to death. He sucks. But here's the thing: he comes back in the next round and does the same thing. It's like, so you got to kind of wait your turn or hope your opponent drops the combo, and you can go ahead and get some assists and do it. It's risky because you bring your assists out there and your whole team can get combo to death in one hit. That's a busted game,
Right.
you know. And it's obviously the game is far from done. They just put out an email today talking about what new Megazords would you like to see in updates. So they keep updating the game.
Right.
We already got Scorpina coming out on the 8th, which I am hella excited for.
Right.
I've been waiting 3 months for this character.
A long time.
I've been waiting a long time. I want this character so we can get on to season 4, and they're going to keep showing love to the game, and I just hope that they will make some necessary changes so basically the fighting game community can take them seriously. Like, I would love to see Sonic Fox get on this game, but I know from watching Sonic Fox that he would be like, this game is fucking busted, especially when he plays NRS games.
Yeah.
If fighters, like even when you're playing fighters, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can combo, but even when I launched that little red lightning bolt to heal my health back up,
Mm-hmm.
it blows you away. Or you can counter a move.
Right.
Like, obviously, Power Rangers does have push block, but the thing is, when you're already in the combo, you can't push block.
Right.
You can't assist out of it. So there has to be a way to, like, help! You know what I'm saying? Like, help me! Type thing.
And we had Sonic Fox say he's not afraid to say is like, because he said GT Goku is the most broken character in the game.
Do you agree?
Not anymore. And he said,
okay,
because he was like, this character should be banned. And he was a Goku GT, like, he used Goku GT. And then pro players was like, yeah, I'm playing this, like, Wawa. He's my favorite esports player in that game. And he said, I'm not using GT Goku because he's broken. And I have more fun not using broken characters in this game.
Yeah.
So it definitely, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Now, I don't want. This is kind of off topic, but we know Dragon Ball FighterZ is their next season is coming to a close. We got 2 more characters. We got 2 more characters. Yeah.
Yeah, Raditz.
Which everyone's thinking. We're not sure. No, we're not sure who's it going to be.
I called Master Roshi, so
yeah. People are saying now it's debated if Shinron's going to be here because some people have found certain things where it's like maybe Omega Shinron will be in the game, which is likely. Like, I wouldn't be surprised about that. However, this next character, I don't know who they could pick at all. Like, people are saying PyCon. I don't think it's PyCon. People love PyCon, but I really don't think it's PyCon at all. As much as people love him, I really don't think it's him. Raditz is a good answer, but I feel like Raditz should have came out when the game came out. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
So, pretty much, I said all that to say, this either could be the last season of the game, or they may go to season 4, which I don't know who they could add in that.
So do you think that they will wrap up the game after the 3rd season, or do you feel as though there's more that can be added to the game?
I don't think there's any more that could be added. The only thing they could do is really refine the combat. That's the only thing I could think that they could do at this point in time. Because I feel like they've gotten everyone that we would think would be in the game. So
they'll probably be trying to wrap it up, you think?
Yeah, I think it will be time to wrap it up at this point. Because, like I said, we pretty much got everyone that we think we needed in this game. Now, people are saying, like, would you rather have a season? Like, there's questions coming up. Would you rather have a season 4 or have a new version of the game? Now, I want to get your opinion. I know you play it. You're a bit of a novice in it, I would say.
I find that quite disrespectful.
My bad. I didn't know what to consider. I didn't know what you would consider yourself. So
I consider myself pretty good in the game. It's just that I run into a wall known as swag. Because, like I said, I've tried online. I get my ass kicked. But it's like, here's the thing. I feel as though that I am a pure beginner on Naruto Ninja Storm 4.
Right.
Because you gotta teach it to me from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though I'm a novice at Xenoverse.
Mm-hmm.
Games I feel as though I'm good at, like I feel as though I'm good at Mortal Kombat.
Right.
I feel as though I'm good at Power Rangers. I feel as though I'm good at Street Fighter. I feel as though that I'm okay in Tekken. Does that make sense?
According to the
I
Tekken
feel
King Q Flow, you
yes.
you whooped him.
But I feel as though that I'm somewhere in the middle between Tekken and Mortal Kombat Power Rangers.
Okay.
That's where my Dragon Ball fighters are, because I love playing the game.
Uh-huh.
I play it on my Switch all the time. Like I said, you got me on play. I play you on PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
but I play it on my Switch all the time. And like I said, I know that.
You Switch.
Say what?
I did not know you play it constantly on your Switch.
I play it on my Switch all the time. Yeah, I play it on my Lite, or I play it on my actual Switch. I even do the story mode, even though it sucks. But I do the story mode.
Yeah, the story mode is bad. It's
yeah,
pretty bad.
And I do that, so I practice it. Like, if you look at the way I play the game,
Mm-hmm.
like when I play you,
Right.
I know how to play the game. I just have trouble beating you.
Right.
It's to the point, like, there are some calls that you can make that I'm just like, damn, I didn't even think about that. Yes, you're on a higher level than me
Mm-hmm.
on fighters, so I can admit that. But no, I wouldn't call myself a novice. I call myself most of the time. I find myself, some days I'm pretty good, some days I'm okay.
Right.
But I'm suitable to the point where it's like, oh, I'll take you on. Like, I've beaten you before.
Right.
I never beat you in Naruto Storm 4. Not even a round. That, to me, is a novice.
Okay.
A beginner.
Gotcha.
I can't even touch you in that game. I have beaten you on camera and off camera on Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Gotcha. My bad. So, now, do you feel like this need a new version, or do you feel like a season 4 should be made?
I don't know how you top the version we have.
That's also what I'm thinking. It's like,
because
we put in the most characters that I feel like are suitable for this. Like, we don't need another Dragon Ball with 180 characters.
We don't, because then stuff gets redundant. And I'm like, right now you have literally given us everything. It's almost like Smash Ultimate. This is like Dragon Ball's Ultimate.
Right.
You literally have given us every important character.
Mm-hmm.
You have given us a side-scroller 2.5D fighting game. Mm-hmm. You have given us team battles, but we can also select 2-on-2 or 1-on-1s.
Right.
You have I would say okay online, and you will have you have the story, you have the lobbies. Like, there's nothing really more. So if you make a Dragon Ball Fighters 2, the only question is, like, unless you're going for better graphics, which they're already crisp on the PS4 because it's all the drawing from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Unless you change the gameplay, which does not need to be changed.
Only thing I would say, rollback netcode is the biggest, because I do not want to play a game where people are born in 19 frames.
Exactly, you're right.
That's the biggest thing.
So, me personally, it's either time for season 4 and wrap it up after that, because it's kind of like Street Fighter 5. Mm-hmm. After a while, it's a complete game. You don't need to do any more to it.
Right, and that's how I feel right now about it.
Sometimes the best fighting games is like, man, it was a good fight game. Like, honestly, the Mortal Kombat Street Fighters have been going on and on because of their story. Mm-hmm. The story changes, characters evolve. That's why you have Mortal Kombat up to 11, and you have Street Fighters coming up to 6, or whatever the case may be. But it's like this: Battle for the Grid don't need a sequel right now,
right?
Because by the time this game, like, to me, Battle for the Grid is going to be like Killer Instinct or Street Fighter, because when Killer Instinct first came out, it started out with 6 characters.
Right.
Look at Killer Instinct on Xbox now.
How many characters do they have in there?
Oh God, it's like it's a lot. It's a bunch of them, and they just keep updating from the Killer Instinct. That's why I think this game I think the Power Rangers game is going to be like a Smash Ultimate type game.
Okay.
Like there's no need to make another one. Like you have now don't get me wrong, Power Rangers you can't make another game. You can make stuff that that plays better, that's not busted, that has better graphics, that has more range and stuff like that from start. But as of right now, people are enjoying with the game that they have. And
Gotcha.
there's continuing support for it. But if it goes like MVCI and they stop support for it, then it takes the life out of the game.
Right. Because they yeah. Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
Like the game was fun with the gameplay, but they cut the legs from underneath it,
Yeah.
and now you go back and play it, and you're like every time I pop in MVCI, you know what the first thing I say is
What?
the potential.
Yeah, it had a lot of potential. It had a
Like
lot of
this
potential.
had the potential to be one of the greatest fighters that there ever was.
Like I
The
said, the
potential,
mechanics and the fighting in the game was great.
yeah.
I loved it. But everything else was just like, okay, what?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else just wasn't that good.